Can you revisit the Galaxy Note 9 in 2026?
Of course! This is the 8-year-old Galaxy Note 9, running Galaxy AI, Circle to Search, and almost every AI feature Samsung keeps showing off at Galaxy Unpacked. Enough to make it feel like you're missing out. So in this video, I'll walk you through how you can get modern One UI with ported Galaxy AI features on this hardware, Note 9, S9, and S9 Plus. What works, what doesn't, and if it's worth the risk. I'll show you the installation process in the second half, but first, look at this. On the home screen, you get the new look, cleaner icons, tighter widgets. It actually feels modern. The always-on display with wallpaper active. And the AI stuff, it's all here. Photo editing, live translation, voice transcription, all the things Samsung's been pushing, running on this. Even Good Lock works, Theme Park, Wonderland, Sound Assistant. You can push this phone way beyond it was meant to be. A phone with a headphone jack, expandable storage, and now Galaxy AI. But is it as fast as the S26? No. You have to be realistic. This is Exynos 9810 power. It does its best, just don't expect S26 Ultra speeds. But it's taken my favorite Samsung to a level it was never meant to reach. No punch hole, the iris scanner, the Bluetooth S Pen. It carries memories. But there's a problem. I'm speaking to you from the future. And today, it won't turn on. My first theory is that the battery is done. Now luckily, a friend sent me his pink Note 9 to salvage parts from. This pink donor is a Snapdragon model and my white one is Exynos. I can't swap the motherboards, but I can salvage the battery. On both phones, the battery is stuck. To get it loose, I'll apply some isopropyl perfume. Swapping the battery. Okay, now turning it on. Alright, the cell had enough charge and it seemed to be alive. Wait a minute, it says there's liquid in the port. But let me check if it actually talks to my PC. Nothing. I tried cleaning the USB port and even hitting it with some heat, but it's still silent. If I can't get a data connection, we can't install the ROM the easy way. So here's the plan B. I'm replacing the entire USB-C assembly using the part from that pink donor. Let's just hope the flex cables match across regions. Alright, it's booting. But the bad news is, this replacement cable is ghosty. It's not fitting properly. It's dropping connection to my Mac every 10 seconds. But I'm hoping Windows handles it a bit better. But I think this is going to be a nightmare. So before I even attempt this, we need to talk about the reality of modding. First, never try this on your only phone. And second, don't touch a single file until you actually know what you're doing. Even with those rules, hardware is unpredictable. Between this ghosty cable and these custom partitions, the risk of a brick is real. That's why I have Wondershare Doctor Phone with me as my safety net if I ever need it. See, no software is magic, but Doctor Phone is a specialized toolbox that makes the painful process of repair or recovery much easier. Their system repair feature is the fastest way to fix a software hang or a frozen logo without you having to hunt for obscure Odin files. And if you have lost your photos, data recovery can pull them back before that final wipe. It's basically an undo button for moments like this. Boot loops, crashes, or accidental data loss. It handles it without you needing to be a tech expert. And it's not only for Android, iOS users can use it too, so check the link in the description to see how it works for your device. But look, precaution is still better than the cure. So step 1 in this experiment is to back up your data. And step 2, update to the latest official firmware. And then remove any Samsung or Google accounts linked to the phone. And yes, before we start, this is only for Exynos models, no Snapdragons. Now the downsides of this ROM are, you lose the iris scanner. Sometimes there's a green tint flash in the camera. And portrait mode doesn't work. Face unlock is also disabled, and because this is a custom ROM, your banking apps won't work out of the box because the device isn't certified. But there is a way to fix that. Let's wait till the end. To get this ported One UI 7, you need to be on official One UI 2.5. And remember, your bootloader must be unlocked. Download all the files from XDA, Twerp Recovery, Repartitioner, Cleaner, the ROM file, and Odin. Also, grab the Samsung USB drivers for your PC if this is your first time. Go to Settings, About Phone, Software Information, and tap Build Number 7 times. You are a developer now. Just don't let it get to your head. Head into Developer Options and enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. But if you don't see OEM unlocking, connect to Wi-Fi and check for updates. You must follow this, otherwise your phone will show pre-normal and download mode. And in that state, you are cooked. nothing will work. Now power off your phone. Hold Bixby plus volume down and plug in the cable. I've already got mine connected because, as I told you, this jack is finicky. Okay, we are in. Now at this stage, if your bootloader is locked, this is where you long press volume up and then long press volume up to unlock it. It will wipe your phone and you will have to repeat step 1 and then meet me back here. Ready? Hit volume up to continue. On your PC, open Odin. Now here you should see this blue indicator. In the Options tab, uncheck Auto Reboot. Click AP, select the drop file and hit Start. Oh crap, it's stuck. My ghosty jack just killed the connection. Let me swap cables and try again. Okay, now we have a pass. Now this is tricky. Hold all buttons together. When the screen goes black, release volume down but keep holding the rest. When you see the logo, release power but keep holding volume up and Bixby. Remember, if you mess up the timing, you are back to step 3. Now there we go. Twerp recovery. Now in Twerp, go to Wipe, Format Data, type Yes. This makes your storage visible to your computer. Now if you are choosing to root your phone later, copy the Twerp file and flash it. If not, you can skip the patch. I'll do it anyway just for the peace of mind. And then reboot back to recovery. Now copy the universal repartitioner file to the phone. Flash it. It will reboot automatically. Now since we changed the partitions, we'll have to format again. Go to Wipe, Format Data and type Yes. Copy the cleaner and ROM file to the phone. Flash the cleaner first. Now step 8. Go to Install, choose the ROM file and swipe to flash it. Read this and move to the next step. Choose Clean Install and press Next. Here I'll choose Rest of the World for the CSC and then select my specific region. And then I'll press Next. In Advanced Debloat, remember, anything you toggle on will not be installed. So be careful. Don't accidentally delete your own keyboard. Read carefully and make your selections for the Bixby button and system extras. Next, decide if you want root access. If you want to use banking apps, you'll have to take a few extra steps with root. But I'm choosing no root. This isn't my main phone and I don't run banking apps on custom ROMs anyway. But if you want to get root and certify the device, watch this video. Hit Next and the installation begins. This takes about 5 minutes. When it's done, reboot system. This first boot takes about 5 to 10 minutes. If it loops, just let it settle. And there it is. One UI 7, Android 15 on an 8-year-old phone running software it was never meant to see. Now if you want to see One UI 8 on the Galaxy Note 20 series, watch this video right here.